Hello and welcome to the Data Show. My name is Yufeng and I'm joined with Felipe Hoffa. We used to be doing live pairing. Now we have decided to spin off to a separate show. Definitely not fueled by a sugar rush from those brownies from last time, but I do have a Instapot going right now, right here, and we'll see what pops out of them. We'll beep at some point.
Yes, hello everyone. I'm excited to be here. We have really good news from Data Studio, and I've been doing some cool stuff with it.
Felipe, you are
How about
always
you?
doing
Oh,
cool stuff.
you.
That is why we love to catch you here. And going
Yeah.
forward, the plan is to have this, the data show on air every other Wednesday at this time slot, 3 p.m. Eastern, noon Pacific, 8 p.m. British Summer Time. So I guess with that out of the way, what I guess I'm curious, those of you who are on the live chat, on the live stream, I'd love to hear from you. What have you been up to since we were last able to check in 2 weeks ago? Who has experimented with making desserts in their Instant Pot? Who has experimented with the Apple Mobility data set, loading it into their own BigQuery tables, or made some interesting visualizations out of Data Studio from that? So yeah, definitely
Yeah.
share with us, your findings. But meanwhile, I think Felipe, you've got some materials prepared for us for this week.
For sure. So the last time we were together here, 2 weeks
Mm-hmm.
ago, it wasn't even May. We were looking at some Apple Mobility data in Data Studio, and we started building a dashboard
That's right.
together. Yes. Do you still have the dashboard that we started building?
Somewhere.
Somewhere.
I'm gonna have
Yes.
to do some digging to find that again. Let's see. For
Cool.
starters, we
Yep.
can revisit that website where the Apple Mobility report is. See if they have updated their UI at all. Maybe they've improved their visualization. You never know. These things change from time to time.
Yeah, they have not changed their
Uh
visualization a
huh.
lot, but there are two things that I love about it. They've been super consistent at updating their data every day.
Okay, that's
So
always
right
good. Yeah,
now,
getting
we
that
have
right is hard to make a good, reliable data pipeline.
exactly. So right now they have May the 4th, and May the 4th be with
Thank
you.
you, and you
And
too,
I'm
always.
betting you too. I'm betting like in 1 hour or two they will have data from
Awesome.
yesterday. So it's super cool to see how each country is
Yeah,
reacting. And of course, I moved all of this data into my
that's right.
dashboard. Do you want to have the URL to my
Yeah, that'd
dashboard?
be great. Can you drop it into the live chat, and then everyone else will have it too?
Yes, yes, yes. So let me share get report link without my report view, copy link. And in the live chat, it's there. And I'm also sharing it in our shared doc, so you can just copy click
Thank
there.
you. Where did you put it in the doc?
Yes, it's
At
at
the
the
top.
start.
Oh, there. Okay. Nice.
About the
Sorry,
top,
the first one
yes.
I saw was a Twitter link, so I was like, that doesn't look right.
Yeah, it's the second one. Yeah, so you can see that my own dashboard in Data Studio is as up to date as the Apple's
Mm-hmm.
one, but I have a lot more data than them, and it's interactive.
Yeah.
And there's a new thing
Yeah,
there.
we got a new map here. I loved how this populated. I'm gonna refresh this page just so everybody can see that again. Pay attention to this corner over here where this map is. That was really quite a lovely little animation as this loads in.
Yeah. So now we have the
All the
power of
dots.
Google Maps. Yes, that's how many locations Apple is tracking
Wow.
right now. That's more than
Uh huh.
700 locations, and that gives you a lot of detail. Um, you can even I even added a new picker there. So if you click on country,
Oh,
you can go
look at
to
that.
any
It gets
country.
stuck. Uh oh.
It's okay. Click outside, click
Yeah, yeah.
inside.
No, it's all good. It was just a funny little behavior. Our country choices are null, negative 99, AE.
Yeah, it's data. Data is not
Data.
always clean. And I will tell you a couple tricks that I had to do to
Yeah,
get
even to
this
just
here.
get it this good. Yeah, and these are
Exactly.
two-letter
But
country
let's say if
codes.
you search, let's look for Italy, for example.
Sure.
How is
Is
Italy doing?
Italy IT? Because if I type
Probably.
out Italy, it's not going to work. I have to know two-letter country codes. So let's just guess that
Exactly.
it's
That's
it.
what I got there for
Yeah.
now. We can improve on it today, but I just want to show you the power.
Yeah.
Like the map automatically zoom into
That's really
Italy, which
nice.
is pretty
Really
cool.
nice. And then we can mouse over
And you
these
can
different
see
regions.
exactly
Here's Lombardy.
what's the worst region at not you can see a different color for each region to see if they are staying at home or not. So what's the darkest one?
It's hard to say. I think
You
there's
can
two
click on the
dots on
dark one.
top of each other here. Yeah.
Yeah. Click on it. If you click on
Mm-hmm.
it, then uh, everything you can see only Emilia Romagna, that region, and that one is the one that is, as you can see, yesterday just had this huge jump into let's go out.
Party!
Yes. And yeah, if you click it again, you can see everything. And this is a data studio secret. You can click at multiple points using control.
Control. All right. Wait, control or command if I'm on a
Control.
Mac?
Uh, Try
Yeah.
something and let's see how it
All right.
goes.
So on a Mac, it looks
That's
like
what
it's
I do.
command, but good to know
Yes.
for folks who are following along.
So yeah, here you can add more points and you can see how everything
Yeah,
is
this is a funny
behaving. And
comparison.
how cool is that? Yes. It took us so long to get Google Maps inside Data
Yeah.
Studio, but now we have
Nice.
it.
Is
And
this
I
a
love
new
it.
feature?
Dan G says, wow, love the auto zoom. Yes, I love the auto zoom too, because yes, we only released this last week and I immediately dropped it into my
Awesome.
dashboard. 2 weeks ago when we
Mm-hmm.
met, I didn't have this kind of
Cool.
map here.
Yeah.
And you can also zoom out, you can zoom in,
So,
like,
yep. You can scroll to zoom out.
yeah,
And we've filtered out the other countries for the time being, so only Italy shows up. But zooming in gets pretty interesting because now we get a ton of detail.
exactly. And let me show you a little bit about how is California doing since I live in California. Do you think we are staying home or not?
Well, the weather is getting awfully nice this time of year, so um, you know, I wouldn't bet on it. Let's put it that way. U.S. Come
Yes.
on,
So
what is the U.S.
go,
country code called?
US.
Okay, so I can't get
Uh,
it to clear is the problem right now, right?
oh, probably yeah. So why you cannot get it to clear? Because that's because you have chosen only one place in the map. So everything else gets filtered out.
Yeah. How do I turn off that
So
filter though?
so click on one point on the map.
Oh, I see what you mean. I've clicked. I can just pick any point and then click it again.
Click on one point, then click again,
There, now it's
then
unlocked.
everything gets
All right, so
selected.
it's a little subtlety.
Yes.
All right, U.S. Let's do only.
Only the
Mm-hmm.
US.
I'm gonna extend this down a little bit so folks can see more of this wonderful dashboard. And this breaks us down to all the points in the U.S. And we wanted. You said you wanted to zoom into California. Do you want to do specifically the Bay Area?
Yeah. I have a new trick for you. So do you see
Uh
GH2
huh.
there?
Whoa, some secret
Click
codes.
on 9M. Give me
9M
9M.
only.
9M only.
Nice.
And add 9Q.
Yeah, as well as 9Q. Secret codes.
Secret codes. Yes. And we can, during this hour, we can review what's happening
Yeah.
here. But with 9M and 9Q, I got you California
Thank you.
there
Yeah.
and a little bit more. We have Las Vegas. But you can see that the whole state is behaving in a similar way. You can see the same
Yeah.
pattern
And
all
specifically,
around
there's
the
actually a dot for
state.
California. Is that the representative dot for the state? So
Yeah.
I could click that if I want to.
So if you wanted only the cities, yeah, take me back
Mm-hmm.
to everything. Uh, uh, if you click on the three filters at
Yeah.
the top, there's one that says geotype.
Right.
Yeah, get only city.
Ah, nice. Okay.
We only want to see cities, and now California disappears, and we get only the
Great.
cities in California. And there are a couple more cities. It's just that San Francisco is not in the US for some reason. So if you go to country US, to that
Wait,
selector,
so the data set put San Francisco in a different. Is it the data set or is it Google Maps? How? What's the reasoning for that?
uh, I will show you
Yeah,
everything how I
that's
made.
so funny.
It was not straightforward to get this, but
Uh
deselect
huh.
the US, so have the
All
whole
right, so
world.
we're gonna deselect the U.S.
That's
We're gonna have the whole world, and we're still
but
9M9Q,
if we have my name
but now we get
exactly.
San Francisco Bay Area, even though we unselected subregion. So San Francisco Bay Area does not count as a subregion; it's counting it as a city here, for the purposes of this. Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. Sub-region would be
Right.
California. But you can see that the best behaved city in
That's right.
California, like the line at the
Yeah, this
bottom,
this yellow one at the
is San
bottom
Francisco.
is the San Francisco Bay Area. That's funny. Well,
Exactly. And you can see that the line at the top is Bakersfield.
yes, Bakersfield.
Bakersfield
Finger wag.
doesn't like staying at home.
Not so much.
Exactly. Let's not get into the
Hmm.
politics of it, but
These are the
uh,
observations.
yeah, yes, there's a Bakersfield is on top. Uh, just the last thing I want to show you here is my own
Mm-hmm.
country. So I will give you the link for that. If you click on the link that I just added at the
Which
top,
one do you want? The second one or the third one?
the last one, yes.
So nice that Data Studio gets you these kind of short links that we can then load directly
Oh
with.
yeah, that's really cool. When I want to share a specific
Mm-hmm.
view with the rest of people, I can share the specific view. And now this is a focus on
Okay.
Chile. That's my
Yes.
country. For those wondering why I have the accent that I have, it's just because it's sexy.
That's right.
But I'm from Chile. I speak Spanish, and you can see that there's one region worse at staying at home than every
Yeah,
other
just a little
region.
bit. Oh my goodness.
That would be Antofagasta, and that has been the region with the most cases lately. So tonight at 10 p.m., there has been declared a total quarantine for
Wow.
them because yeah, they are not one, they are not staying at home. Two, they are having the worst growth in
Mm-hmm.
cases. You could see this coming, and now I expect on Thursday to see that curve dropping a
Yeah.
lot just because we have.
Right.
Yeah, we can see real life reflected in our maps. This is working, and Matt is asking about the visual of the page
Yes.
too. Before we go into the maps, let's go to the page
All
two.
right. Heading on to page 2. So that's cool that there's these pages on you can make for your report. It's not just a single view.
Yes, and this one is crazy too.
Wow.
Here I'm showing you all of the
Mm-hmm.
US. So instead of hitting 10 lines, 20 lines, I have all of the cities in the
Yeah.
US. And you can see that one of the best cities at staying at home, according to to Apple Mobility, is New Orleans. That's the bright
Oh
line in the
yeah,
middle.
totally. And at first I was thinking Honolulu was doing pretty well, but yeah, New Orleans is a total outlier. And I see there's a bright
Exactly.
line of
And you can
Ann
see that
Arbor as well. We should be able to sort these somehow at some point too, I imagine.
uh, we should be able to sort them, but don't you think that these are a little sorted
Yeah, they seem to
anyways?
be a little bit sorted, but not like totally sorted.
Yeah, but I'm sorting them by special magic
Special
that you can
magic.
review today.
Sort order
Yes,
equals magic.
I mean, you can see that cities that are next to each other are next to each other in this list too.
In which list? Oh, you mean cities that are
In this
near.
list.
Oh, snap. This is a geographic sort.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
is very
How cool is
cool,
that?
man.
San Diego, Santa
Mm-hmm.
Barbara,
Yeah, so that's
LA.
why we start with Honolulu. We're going from west to east, whatever, the opposite the direction of the sun, and going all the way across to the east coast, hitting New York, New Haven, Hartford, Providence, and Boston.
Exactly. So I'm doing all that kind of cool stuff. And as Monica is asking, is this a community visualization? Yes, this is a community visualization. I made this with Vega. Also, I love being able to just push Data Studio so much to show the things I want to
Yeah.
show.
Folks are asking for the link to the Data Studio dashboard again, the public view, so that people can play around with this. If you don't mind throwing that back up there
Oh,
again.
yes.
I think if people joined late, they might
Just
not
go
be able to
to,
find it as easily.
if you cannot scroll up, just go to twitter.com/Felipe Hoffa, and I've been tweeting a lot of these links. Oh, and that's how I get more followers too. But
Yeah, and to
yes,
answer
so
M. Ray's question about the source of the data, we went over this in the previous episode of the Data Show, and it's linked in the description below that episode. It's the Apple.com mobility data reports that Apple has released, showing the use of Apple Maps for pedestrian, driving, and public transit traffic since January 13th, 2020.
exactly. Yes, and if you go to my dashboard,
Oh, and it's at the top here too.
yes, at the top, that you have a link to the source. You have a link that, yes, I'm copying this data, so I'm not the source of truth. I'm not the expert in public health, so you should listen to expert, not to me, when you want to know really what's happening around the world. But still, I'm happy to provide you tools to get the most out of this data. And you can find a link to read more, because that's my Medium post about how we build this. And that one has a link to our previous video too.
Nice.
So yes. So it's time to get our hands
A little bit in the weeds.
Yes, let's build some of this. How much can we build by ourselves today? How about we build a Google Map with this data
Yes,
first?
that's a good starting point.
Cool. So the first thing I should share with you is, do you have anything of what we did 2 weeks ago, or do I need to give you a link to the
So if I go to
dashboard?
datastudio.google.com, this is, I think, what we made last time. I got an untitled report and COVID-19 mobility data. So I haven't had a chance to accumulate a large grouping of untitled reports quite yet. So I can still tell them apart, thankfully.
Perfect. So anyone that wants to know how we built this 2 weeks ago, we have this in our previous video, and you have one ugly map. We can make a prettier map today.
They're overlapping a little bit. That's because I was trying to give this a little more room so we could see the curves fly out, but side effect. All right.
Yeah. So the first thing we could do here is, let's delete that map.
Happy to do it. That map was not doing me any favors.
And let's add a new chart.
Google Maps, look at that. So this is new. This was definitely not here before, because I totally would have clicked on it, because it's way better looking than that one.
Exactly. Right. I love that Data Studio added Google Maps. One of the problems of Google Maps right now in Data Studio is that cannot be embedded in other pages. So if you want to embed your Data Studio report in your post, Google Maps will not work, because we are working out all of the iframe. The same happens with my community visualizations, like the one in the second page. They are super powerful, but I cannot embed that anywhere else. But yes, see, now you have a beautiful Google map.
Is that all I had to do? Surely that's not it.
Well, we can do a lot more. Also, what we are giving Google Maps in this case is a region.
Oh yeah, I see that.
That means we're giving it a string, and Google Maps is doing
its best guess.
It's making its best guess of what everything.
So I remember last time we were, and there goes the Instant Pot. That's not you, and it's not a fire alarm, folks. It's the Instant Pot here doing its thing.
Shut up, Instant Pot. We know
yeah,
you're ready.
And it's gonna take 10 minutes anyway to cool off. So give it 10 minutes to release, and then we'll see what we made. You know, I've got mittens right here, ready to go. So very excited for that.
By the way, another cool thing about Google Maps here is, if you click on Style, You can go.
What do you want to change?
I want to change its look. Style. Where is
We
the
got a
style?
couple of things here. We got colors.
Oh yeah,
Uh
click on
huh.
colors. No.
No. We got
On
bubbles.
top.
We got labels, landmarks, roads. Report theme is silver right now. We got
Oh yes. Yeah, yeah. Go for standard.
standard. Ooh, yeah. Now it's really feeling like
Yeah,
Google
look
Maps.
at that look. Now it feels like
Yeah.
Google Maps. So you can make it feel like Data Studio. You can make it feel like Google Maps, or you can give it
Something
your
custom.
own
Yeah, I saw that you
configuration.
can
So,
edit the JSON, which is neat.
exactly.
You can style
You
it
can give
however
it
you
any
want.
JSON, and then yeah. Well, you have all of this freedom to visualize things. But so what Google Maps is doing right now, it's looking at the string of the region. It's making its best
Yeah,
guess.
and this is similar to
But
what we
I'm
had
not
last
giving.
time, right? Like when we were doing the built-in geo chart, whatever it's called, the geo map. We had a similar kind of situation where the map was just getting that string and then doing whatever it could with it, and we ended up with like Italy being in Texas and things like that.
Exactly. So yeah, we don't know if we're talking about Paris, Texas, or Paris, Paris. But it makes its guess. Now the problem here is that it's all of that is internal.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I cannot use the data that Google Maps is guessing to filter by country or to filter by my secret 9M, 9M, 9H,
Yeah,
9Q.
your secret codes.
So what I really, 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 really want to do is annotate the data.
Yeah, we want some
Um,
better naming on these things, for sure.
exactly. So do you remember how we created the table in BigQuery that that's backing this
This
dashboard?
one right here, if I recall correctly.
Oh,
I
you
do
have
have
it.
it.
So exactly good. Let's edit that one. Let's go to BigQuery and we can start hacking this query to get. Um, I briefly saw the recipe for the instant pot brownies
Yes,
there.
we'll
Very
we'll
good.
save that for when the brownies actually come out.
Yes. Okay, so what problem do I have now? And this is something that drives me crazy with the Apple mobility data. All they tell you about a
Hmm.
region is the name.
Yeah,
And from there, you have to guess if is
yeah.
it Paris,
From there, it's
Texas?
just like
Is
good
it Paris,
luck, have
Paris?
fun.
Good luck. Yes, you can go to the table we built, like
Yep, I've got it right here.
exactly. So, and you can go to preview.
Yep.
It gets slow with so many
Yeah.
columns. Remember how we did a pivot, but you are showing me the base
Oh,
table. That's okay.
whoops.
Yeah, if you go, yeah, the UI gets a little slow when we have so many columns, and no one should have so many columns. That's like
Yeah, I'm trying to change it to this table now, but it's taking its time. There we go. Now we're better.
super slow. Now it's faster.
Yeah, nice.
Good. So yeah, so we have city Rome. Good. City Madrid. City Barcelona. We know that's in Spain, but we. So the question is now is how do we enrich this data so we can get the country, the latitude and longitude. Um,
Well, we probably want to cross this with a different data set based on some kind of indicator, in terms of because we know which ones are countries and which ones are cities, at a base level, we should be able to fix the Italy showing up as a city in Texas.
but you need a knowledge
Yep.
base, and you may need to do it
Yep.
manually.
Is there some kind of
And
flag maybe
city
we can
names
pass
are
into? Does Google Maps have a flag? We can say like not just the string name of a region, but to say this name is supposed to be a city name or this name is supposed to be a country name.
we can do a little bit of
Mm-hmm.
that, but still with Paris it doesn't change
Mm.
anything because we get Paris and
Oh,
it's
it's always
always
a
a
city,
city.
but sometimes it's the city in the
Or
wrong country.
yeah.
Mm.
And
Oh
Springfield,
my
they're
gosh.
like 40
Yeah.
Springfields
How do we even
around
know
the
which
United
one's the right
States.
Springfield in general? I
The one where yellow comic characters live. Um, but so this is a tough
yeah.
job. Apple made it really, really hard. But it turns out I have really good friends all around the
Mm-hmm.
world. And I have friends at Carto.
Ah,
Carto is one of the
yes.
leading.
CartoDB.
Um, yes, they used to be called CartoDB. Now they're called Carto.
Oh, where they like
They
drop the
drop the DB.
DB.
I think it's
It's
cleaner.
cleaner.
Yes, exactly. But and for a long time there were so they still are big, big, big fans of
Yeah.
PostGIS. That's been one of their main tools. But now that BigQuery is so good at GIS and BigQuery can handle such a big scale, they are huge fans of BigQuery too, and they are creating a lot of interesting public
Mm-hmm.
datasets in BigQuery that other people can
Yeah.
use. And since we are all working in the same topic, they have released a public table with that is doing the geocoding for us.
Wonderful. Wow.
Exactly.
So
How
huge,
cool is that?
huge thanks to our friends at Carto then.
Exactly. So you can go to. Let me show you my BigQuery, my BigQuery
Uh-huh.
query, and then we can start building it
Yeah.
ourselves. But I want from that query we're going to get the
Yeah. Do you want to
geolocation.
drop it at the
So
bottom
if
of the
you go
dock
to
or
the
the
top
top
of
of the
our doc,
dock?
go to the top again.
Oh, it's in on
Yeah,
GitHub.
you have our GitHub.
Nice.
Yes.
And shall we share this with
So yes,
the viewers as well? I can paste the link into the chat.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So
Mhm.
this is Felipe's big query.
Yes. This is my BigQuery query. I need to clean this up. Maybe our next episode can be about cleaning up data queries with DBT. DBT is a tool I started
Mm-hmm.
loving. It will help me a lot to build better pipelines, bigger pipelines, cleaner pipelines. In this case, I just keep growing
Yeah.
this query.
Bigger queries.
Yeah. So in the width, scroll a little bit. Scroll. I want one that is called lat longs. Lat
I
underscore
got lat
longs.
long with no underscore.
Yeah, cool. But you can see that one is called lat longs as.
Ah, here.
So I want you to copy paste that whole
The
section.
as?
We're going to copy it to our query.
Where do you want to start from?
From lat long until the final parentheses of
Ooh,
that
which
section.
one is the
Cool.
final one? Is it this one or this one?
Just guess.
All
That's a good one.
right. Just guess.
Yes, we can add more parentheses if
Yeah.
we need to. And now I want your query and add at the end. So we've been creating this query together this whole
Mm-hmm.
time. Not at the end, before the select.
Oh, before the which select? Inside the from or outside the from?
Outside the from, like where that you see. Do you see that parenthesis closing like 19?
Yes.
Paste it
Yes.
there.
Big thanks to the BigQuery team for using, including line numbers for us, and then for us for not using the line numbers.
Yes. Ta-da-ta-da. Yeah. So this is what we call a CTE.
Ah, yes. Oh my
And
goodness. I
basically,
haven't done CTEs in so long.
it's getting warm
Yes,
here.
likewise. I mean, I got an instant pot to deal with. What do you have? It's releasing pressure. It says I'm at T minus plus 9 minutes. So
Perfect. So
yeah,
almost
Robert
ready.
says he has to jump to a meeting. Well, you can just have them join us here. You can have a meeting.
Bring everyone here. We're doing cool
That's
stuff
right.
here, Robert. Okay. So let's review this query. We spent a lot of time building it
Mm-hmm.
last time, but basically we have 3 CTEs here. If you go to the start of the query,
Yeah. Oh, the very start.
yeah, take me to line 1 for a quick review of what we
We're
have
going to
here.
create or replace our table called Apple Mobility Trends Initial, which is the one that's pictured down below, with data, or as with data as.
Yeah. The first step there is how we are unpivoting the
That's
source
right,
data.
from the source table. Then we are unnesting. This is the unpivoting UDF, user defined function.
Yeah, we reviewed that already.
And then we have this other thing. So with data as this, and then I guess the with
Yeah,
is distributive. So it's like with data as this, comma, with annotated data as this query.
exactly. I'm taking the previous query and I'm adding it more information like the moving average. We did
Yeah.
all of that
And
last
you can
week.
notice that we can select
And now,
from data, which is this one. So we're selecting straight from the query that was generated right before, which means that BigQuery has to run that query, generate the results, sort of, and then stream it into the next query, so, sort of.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. It's a mess to have everything in this big BigQuery
Mm-hmm.
query, but at least we can keep blocks
Yes, we can
inside.
keep the
Our
text
next
organized,
step,
right?
exactly. Our next step would be to clean
Mm-hmm.
it up. And what we just did is added a new block, a new CTE.
Aha.
That those are my latitude
Right.
longitudes. That I'm taking, as you can see, I'm taking it from a Carto
Right.
table.
So here's do. I don't know why it's Carto do public data set. If it was DB, it would make sense, but no. Carto do public data. It's like sudo, but this is Carto do.
Exactly. Carto, do public data,
Yes.
please.
Sudo Carto do public data. And then it's glow COVID-19 Apple geography, glow no is glow geolocations or something like that? And then locations v1. So this is a mapping, it looks like, of their all these
Exactly.
locations, huh?
BigQuery, BigQuery trick, if you
Command
press
and click.
command on your computer and
It will
click, we jumped. This is teleportation
zoom.
into the Carto universe. This is their
Yeah.
table. They made it public, and we can
And you can
use
see it
it.
actually pulls up their
Uh,
entire project and all their other tables that are kind of related, all within this data set of Carto do public data, which is kind of exciting, as well as some functions.
So thank you so much, Carto, for embracing the BigQuery universe, sharing data with the universe, and helping me make the Apple mobility data more powerful.
And I see the San Francisco one there now. Yeah.
Exactly, that's a bug.
Country? No. Where is San Francisco? It exists outside of time and space. That's
Exactly.
hilarious.
So I can blame them. Yeah, no, they did a
Mhm.
wonderful job because it's really, really hard to geolocate things when Apple gives you so few
Yeah.
data to do so. But we have friends and we can work together. In fact, if you click on details,
Hey, we're using this approximation as geometries of Apple mobility trends data. Some of them are generated with geocoding, which could introduce some errors. If you found an error, please do not hesitate to post a comment in this spreadsheet. Thank you.
yes, I still have to post a comment on the spreadsheet saying, hey, San Francisco is part of the US. Or maybe I like it this way. I don't know. The thing is they're doing a really good job. They're making it collaborative
Yeah.
and they load it. If we go back to preview, they are not only giving you the latitude and longitude for each point. Sometimes they give you the whole geometry so you can draw.
Oh, really? Like an outline? That's pretty
Yes.
sweet.
Yeah. Now I don't care about that because on Google Maps in Data Studio I cannot
Yeah.
use it. But they have that information and they can provide it. And as you can see here, the Apple ID, which is the 1st column, to get a lot more information.
You cut out just a little bit earlier there, but I think you're saying that we can use all this to match across with our Apple data. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what we want to do now. But first, let me show you how I cleaned up that data because before joining it with Apple, I needed to make some changes.
Yeah, I
to
see
it.
we have more than a handful of selects inside of this lat longs as select.
So what they call GeoID, I decided to call region.
Okay, so you're renaming GeoID to be region.
So I can do a join with Apple's.
Yeah, because Apple also called it region in their data set. ST centroid geom, so that's this geom. Yes. So we're gonna get the center point of that.
Exactly, because sometimes they were providing very big outlines for each place, and that uses a lot of data, and that makes our query
Mm-hmm.
slower. I just want the centroid for
And
each one.
then we got the country, just straight out. The geotype, we're going to call it the Carto geotype, so we know that it's the one that's coming from this table. And then same with region, it's the Carto region. And so that's this two columns, country and region down here. And then so
Exactly.
from this table, we're running the select above it, select star,
Everything that I already
comma,
had.
round,
So the first step was renaming. Now I'm getting a lat long
right.
in a string.
Oh, so this is more like string manipulation
But
magic.
yeah, the thing is
Huh.
that BigQuery understands natively geometries and points and things
Yeah.
like that. Data Studio still doesn't understand that data coming out of BigQuery, and Data Studio is asking me for give me a latitude, comma longitude separated by a comma, and then I can draw it for you.
Oh,
And I'm like,
why?
okay, I can do that in BigQuery.
Yeah,
Thank you.
fine. Okay, so let's see. What's STY? Is that just extract the Y value?
That's the
Okay.
latitude.
So
Yes,
we
of the
extract, and then
centroid.
what is this 7?
That's for the round. I only want seven
Oh, right. Okay.
decimals.
So this is round latitude, longitude. This is round longitude. And then this
Yeah,
concatenates with a comma in between. So now we have a number, a comma, and then a number. And we're renaming it lat long without an underscore. Then we're doing a
exactly.
similar thing
And
here.
the way that's something new in BigQuery too, highlight something, that's something new in
Yeah.
BigQuery. Now in BigQuery you can concatenate strings and numbers and things like that. Like here I'm concatenating a float with a string, and I'm not doing any casting. I just doing
Yeah.
pipe pipe, and that concatenates strings, and that saves me so much
Yeah.
time in BigQuery.
Yeah, extra parentheses. Nobody wants that. So this saves wrapping everything in a bunch of casts and concat calls, which is nice. So that's our lat long, and then we have this geo hash. What's the significance of this?
Geohash is a string. We are going to talk a little bit about
Oh,
this
okay,
later.
so we can just let it
Now,
be. Oh, GH.
for now, let it be. But geohash is a string that we can get out of a lat
Okay.
long and a hash, and it's geo. Uh, it's part of the other tricks
Yes,
I
the
was
tips and
going to
tricks
show you about.
from Felipe. All right. So then we're going to select from that. So these are like super nested,
Use
deep
automation.
nested select statements. From this, we're going to select everything except lat long. But then we're going to get lat long again,
Yes.
concatenated with the row number over partition the lat long order by region, and then we're going to rename it lat long. Am
That's
I reading
crazy.
that?
And I
Am
had
I
to
reading
do
that
it.
approximately right?
Yes, that's the kind of things I have to pull off so I can visualize
Oh
my
my
data with
goodness.
Google Maps and
Yeah.
Data Studio. I hate it, but I love it. I can do it in BigQuery, and then
Yeah.
everything works.
Man, the
You do you want to know why I had to do that?
I don't know if I want to. It was hard enough just like parsing that text was. I'm not used to reading so much SQL. This is like
Yes.
the
So
data show. Also, the Yufeng tries really hard to understand really nested SQL queries from Felipe show.
good, and that's why we do it.
Yes.
I hope people are. Yeah. So the trick here, this problem starts with I was feeding all of these latitude, longitude to Data Studio and telling Data Studio that's the name of its
Mm-hmm.
region. So this is Rome, this is Italy, blah, blah, blah. Now, if I had the same latitude and longitude for a place with two different names, Data Studio went crazy. Data Studio was like, no, I cannot visualize a map if for the same latitude and longitude you have different names for the same
Uh
place.
huh.
I refuse to
And,
draw
and
this.
this is you had the same places, even with all of this rounding. Because I mean, yes, rounding can introduce this kind of problem, but you were rounding to 7 places. That's a huge rounding. I mean, that's very
Yeah,
precise. Is mainly what I'm getting at. So I'm kind of surprised that that happened. Is it just because?
but the thing is that sometimes things map to the same
Yeah.
place. So the city and the
Right. Might
region.
be on the same dot.
Uh, i- yeah, because we are choosing an arbitrary
Mm-hmm.
dot, like, and if it happens to at different levels have the same
Yeah.
spot, well, yes.
So
So yes, that
you're
usually
what are you doing here though? This is what I'm trying to figure out. You're dropping all the lat longs and replacing it with a different way of doing it where you're appending a row number at the end of the lat long. Is that what's
yes.
happening?
So what I'm doing here, yes. So basically, I'm looking at these two places have the same lat
Mm-hmm.
long. So that's the partition by
Yeah.
lat long. I get to see if more than one place has the same lat long. And then to each name, I give it a different number.
Right.
And then I add that number to the
Mm-hmm.
string.
Oh, okay. But you're only doing
So
that in the situation where it's the same. But I guess what I'm trying to figure out is why don't you put a comma or something? Like you're changing the lat. Oh, because of decimals. You're adding an
yeah,
eighth and a
so
ninth decimal place, so to speak. So it's a minor, teeny, 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 tiny tweak. That's a dirty
exactly. I'm
trick,
moving
man. That
it
is a
by
very
0.00001 or 0.00002 or 0.000. And this almost never
right.
happens, but this is how I got out of this.
That is a pretty dirty trick, man.
It's like, oh, these are different lat longs. I
Uh
can
huh.
draw that.
Wow. Like,
The things we
yeah.
do.
Oh my gosh. And then again, we're doing a substring of the geohash. We're just grabbing the first two characters. That's why all our geohashes had two characters. And again, we will reveal
Uh-huh.
later what that all means, I guess.
Exactly, but now you're putting things
Yeah, I mean,
together.
I can see where it's connected to. I still don't really know what a geohash is. I suspect it's what your every single place has a geohash. So you just remember that there are some special ones that you want to pull up, and you can pull up a single location with the hash rather than trying to find it in the big list.
We'll come back there, but now we want to build a map, and now we want to do a join with this new
Yes.
table. I took here in these 5, 6, 8 lines, we took Carto's
Mm-hmm.
table, which is cool, and we shaped it until we can use it in Data Studio and join it with
Right.
what we have.
Is that the only addition we need to
So
do?
now you need to do a join
Oh,
with that because that
right, right,
city
right. This
by
doesn't have
itself,
anything.
exactly. So now on our query,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Is it?
when did you add the rank thing? You've been experimenting. I don't remember writing
Oh,
rank with you.
maybe this was copied from the full query from the
Oh, could
from
be.
the blog post. I think that's where this was from. This wasn't necessarily
Okay,
what we were running before, but
good. Let's run it and let's see how does it
how
run.
does what does it complain about? Because like you said, we haven't joined it with
Yeah,
anything yet, so it's not being
exactly. We ran it,
selected or anything. Like I'm not expecting really any change.
but if it runs, it's
Yep.
happy. I'm happy. Go to table. Oh, we made a new table of mobility trends. We have city type, region,
Yeah.
geotype.
Nothing
Sorry,
changes,
geotype.
right? Because we didn't select those columns.
Exactly. But I'm glad that this
Yes.
works. Good. So now you can add at the end of the query. Come back to
All right, we can do it
BigQuery.
manually.
Yeah,
All
we'll
right.
do it manually. You can do a join at the
At
end.
the
At the end,
end, at the end.
after the query.
Oh,
Why not? Let's
so
put it
because
anywhere.
we're
It doesn't matter.
selecting everything from this, from that, and then this is the inner select statement, and we're calling it a. Oh, all right. I haven't done a join in a while too. So let's see. We're joining. What did we call that one again? Lat longs.
So join it with lat longs, and you can type using
No,
parentheses
is it region? Regions?
region. Yeah, because region is the name that Apple
Yeah.
is using to
Yeah,
call
this one
its
right here.
thing. And that's our
Mm-hmm.
ID.
And we
And we have a select start. We will get all of the columns together. And let's see what we get.
Yeah, this is some deep SQL though. I mean, sometimes I talk about how BigQuery doesn't, it's not as useful if you have like small data sets that aren't, hundreds of thousands or millions of rows. But like, I remember running these kinds of SQL statements, these deep SQL nested, super nested stuff in SQL Server, years ago. This is like, over a decade ago. Obviously, SQL Server has improved since then too, but these kind of queries would take ages.
Yes, it's fast. We're not doing too much data, but we're doing
Yeah, and we're doing a
geodata,
lot
and
with
we're
the query. That's the main thing. Is like they would fall over on the query itself, which was unfortunate.
exactly. So look how beautiful this is. Now we have a lat long.
Yes.
We know the name
And
of
I
the
see we have these
city.
Carto regions, just like we'd expect. These geohash. We can verify that we did indeed get the correct first two characters here of each geohash. We got our lat longs. Hey, look at this.
Aha.
Oh, it has the same hash too. Is this just a repeat row? What's the difference? Oh, a different rank.
Oh, because we have one row for each day.
Right. Of course.
Yes. So we're duplicating a lot of data, but we have all of the data in the same table, and that helps with visualizing that. We're just doing a very straightforward table for Data Studio and BIH.
Yeah. Let's load this in, right? Refresh data.
Yes, while we load this into Data Studio, before we do that, I want to acknowledge, I love this message from Monica that says, I've just prepped 3 dashboards for 53 GA properties and 46 AdWords accounts with community visualizations, custom functions, and all that stuff. I never want to see Data Studio again. And then she says, no, I'm kidding. It's also powerful and free too. Yes. I know that feeling, Monica. Monica, you should show us your dashboards one day. I really want to see what kind of custom visualizations.
Yeah, that would be very cool. We should have her on.
Yes. So now that we did all of this, we can go back to our Data Studio.
And we have some extra columns now that we added, so we need to do that funky thing that we did before with the data source.
Exactly. Now you know where to find the pencil.
Yes, the hidden pencil of power. And it doesn't matter if I click on the map and click the pencil, or I click on the chart and then click on the pencil. It'll still go to the same data source.
This I learned the last week. I learned that you can click on refresh fields. Thank you, live chat, for teaching me so much.
And there it goes. It's thinking. I'll click done for now. Let that load in.
Yeah, you have new columns. All of those new columns. And now you can change the region in Google Maps. We don't want Google Maps to guess anymore. We want it to use our lat longs.
Right. We can directly point it at where's our lat underscore long? Oh, it's not called that. It's just lat long by itself.
I don't know what we called it. Centroid? Lat long, yes. Whatever we want to call it.
It does not like it.
And it didn't like it. Oh, I know why it didn't like it. Go back to the pencil.
Did we not encode it correctly because it's a string?
No, it's all good. I want you to go back to in Data Studio.
No, I'm here.
Click on the pencil.
There's our lat long. It's text, and we need to encode it as
we don't want it to be text. We want to be
lat long.
Latitude, longitude.
Beautiful. Let's change it. Let's say yes. It is encoded. It's going to say done. It's going to think. And now we have dots.
Exactly. Wonderful. I love that we have these kind of problems because now we can show everyone how to fix it when they run
exactly.
into this.
And moreover, now I guess officially we can safely say that Texas does not have a dot here for Italy like it used to, which is always a nice feeling.
So you can see that this map is also a little noisy now. That's why I like going back to the Data Studio.
The Data Studio view in terms of the style. So I noticed these draggers. I was considering kind of turning down the signal on the roads and the landmarks a little bit and see. I wanted to see what it would do to this. Would that kind of reduce the noise when I zoom in? Or maybe I need to go further. Like all these labels, I only want the main labels. I don't really know what these draggers, these things do, but
but instead of playing that much, playing with all of that, you can just go and select the. So yes, at first I was like, why didn't they choose the standard Google Map as
And then
default?
you
And then I was
understood.
like, oh, thank you for doing the gray one. It's so much better. Even though for a second I felt better about the standard Google Maps. Yeah, they did a pretty good job at
For
making
sure.
this one fit a dashboard. Oh yes, and if you go over any point, what do you get?
Oh no, it's still the line.
Let's fix that.
All right, let's
Edit.
edit that. Yeah, that
We
should
can
be
fix
that
that.
should be an easy fix, right? With any luck. Bubble location
Well,
tooltip. Add dimension. What should we call it?
tooltip,
Region. I'm gonna guess.
region.
And then we could even set a
Yes.
bubble color. If we had made a column in BigQuery of like having the city be one color and then the countries be a different color, we could have different colored bubbles too.
Or do bubble color, do the last percent.
Oh, right, because we also that's the other thing we could show with color, like you did.
Oh yeah. But you can do it on the bottom one, on metric. On bubble color metric.
Percent.
The, but not percent, last percent, because percent is an average of the whole time. Last percent is the we don't
We have
have last
current
percent. I
percent.
have that in my have in yours. Current percent, yes. Those are all of the tricks I did on that query to get the last value. And I don't want the sum of that one. I want
The actual
the
value.
average max. Yes.
The average, right?
Average is good. Max is good. They should give you the
Yeah.
same result.
Nice.
Now you have a pretty map.
It's so interesting seeing the distinction. You can, I don't know if viewers on the live stream can kind of see this, but on my monitor, there's this subtle distinction of Eastern and Western Europe. There's kind of a line right here, where on the left hand side of this line, it's a little more blue-green, and then on this side of the line, it's a little more just blue. And that's super interesting.
Yeah. Northern Europe is not staying home. They're using a different. If you click on any point, you can see how different they are.
Yeah. So over here, I see like Spain and Toulouse are like minus 0.69, 0.8, whereas when I go up here in this area, the blues were looking more like minus 0.49, minus 0.5. So it's about a difference of. We're at like 0.3, and I can just mouse over these. It looks like clicking doesn't seem to do anything.
But if you click on it, you will get the full chart.
I
Just
am
click,
clicking.
Click. Oh, I don't see it changing. Oh,
Me
it's
either.
not changing on the left side. Let's change that. Click on edit. And click on the map. Yep, good. Go to the bottom of that column. Scroll. Apply filter.
Interactions. Okay, I see. So it's just a simple checkbox. That's so nice.
Yeah. Let's go back to view.
Here's Lyon. I was there for the Linux open source summit. They hosted that in Lyon last year. That was really nice. And so this will help us,
you can see the line.
Filter, and we can do that thing we did before where we can hold down Control or Command depending on your system, and we can get
exactly compare it to Norway or Sweden and Northern Europe, where they follow in a
different curve
strategy.
Oh, whoops! I let go of the control. All right, hold down Command. Just got to remember, hold down. Here's Poland, and let's throw Berlin in there.
Not Norway. Norway is so different.
There's Oslo. Looks like Oslo and whatever the orange is, Hamburg are both kind of up here. But in general, you can see there's a pretty wide variance between all these cities. Down below, what is that? Paris and Spain are these two lines, and then this light blue is Poland, then Berlin, then Oslo and Hamburg.
Yes, and by the way, Monica is saying that she designed a funnel chart, Anajima. I really want to see
that funnel chart. Yeah, send that over.
Yes, we have 5 minutes left. Of all the things I teased, what should we review? What's the last thing we should review?
Do you want to put the drop downs into here?
Cool.
That'd be one thing we could do. I also want to know more about what is the. I think the real big question, and I think it has to do with the drop downs, is those. Why did we make those hashes?
Okay, let's do a new window
Uh-huh.
here. No, sorry. Let's create a new page on our Data Studio
Sure.
report. Add a page.
Add a page.
And add a chart, add a table.
Add a chart. Add a table. Which kind of table? Table with bars. Table with heat map.
No, let's just
Just
do
the
a
table.
table. Just, yeah, I want to do the simplest table to show you the geohashes
Okay.
here. And we only want 2 columns here. We want the region.
Lost the region. There it is.
There is a region. Dimension region. And also give me the dimension geohash.
Not GH2.
Just geohash, yeah. So this is our list of all the regions in the world, the 700 or less. And now for sorting, I want you to sort this, or just click on view. So we can work with the table. And sort by geohash.
Oh, is this how you did the geographic sort? Because it sorted the lat longs, and so it did a hash.
Yes.
Oh, so you borrowed the hashing algorithms. You exploited the hash algorithm and how it was hashing the lat longs. Because you could have, like, I don't know, summed up the absolute value of the lat longs or something like that and manually done it. But this is very clever.
Yeah, but it doesn't work to do
Yeah,
it with
that's
lat
right.
longs. A geohash is a really good mapping
Hash.
mapping 2 dimensions into
Right.
1.
Yeah.
Internally, BigQuery uses an even better hash, S2, but BigQuery can tell you the geohash for any lat long, and then you can see, like, you get all of Germany
Yep, I'm seeing
together.
that.
Amsterdam is next to Netherlands and Rotterdam and Belgium and
And
Brussels.
here's
And you get,
Europe, France and Switzerland and Italy. Then we got all of India and some of the Middle East, going to Turkey, going into Greece and Israel, and back down to Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Serbia, and then continue onwards to more of Italy, and then we jump to New Zealand because that makes sense. Because we jumped to Australia, really, right? It's sorting by region. Now we're in kind of the South Pacific and Indonesia and Jakarta, and now we've crossed the Indian Ocean into Johannesburg and South Africa to tour the world.
how beautiful
It
is this?
quite nice. A question from Akash asking about when the next episode of AI Adventures is coming out. That's on Thursday this week. Every other Thursday, we're dropping new AI Adventures content.
Yes. And for the next episode of the Data Show, we should meet like in 2 weeks.
Two Wednesdays from now, we'll be doing that. I'm gonna turn the camera and see what this one's doing here. So if this is a disaster, you've all witnessed it together.
Did we get brownies?
Or did we just get brown soup? Whew. Oh, was yours all wet like this too? All right.
Okay, let me see what you did there. Did you cover your brownies?
I did.
Or
It's
did
covered in tinfoil.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm trying to do the right thing, you know. It's hard work.
Did you put
I did put a trivet in there, if that's what you're wondering. Something to...
paper towels to absorb the humidity?
Paper towels I did not. That was not in the recipe that I had. You never send me a recipe, man. I had to just go and find one.
You're doing it.
There we go. Look at that. Look at that thing. It's a thing.
Look at that brownie.
It's wrapped in tinfoil.
Yes. While Yufeng is getting his brownie out, do we have any questions before we leave the show? And what would you like to see the next time?
Yes, questions, requests.
There's so much to go into. But you see people still on our live stream.
Yeah. Who is sticking around to see what this turns into here? Live cooking demo. Yeah, I know, right? It's like there's so many influencers and stuff doing all this stuff with cooking and Instant Pots and stuff. And it's like, click our affiliate link to buy your Instant Pot.
Oh, yes, on a future show, I would love to see
Here we go.
what Monica has been doing. Like she designed her own custom visualization. Is that brownie
It
looking?
looks brown.
Oh,
It smells good. I'll say that much.
I wish I
I
could.
know, right? This is I don't have your fancy push pan, so it's in like a Tupperware glass bowl.
It looks
Yeah,
delicious. I
you
would eat
eat
that.
that?
On our next show, I will teach you how to make some microwave brownies.
Microwave brownies, dude. How long do you have to run that microwave for?
Yeah. Oh, Tibor is asking if we will be working on the same data set or a new data set the next time. The answer is we are going to be working on whatever is the coolest that day, and we take suggestions. I've been working on this dashboard the last few days, so I'm very happy to go deeper into this. But we just love doing. Oh, that
Looks like a
delicious.
brownie to me. Tastes like one too.
Yeah. We love highlighting new BigQuery features. We love highlighting new data studio features. We love highlighting wherever you want to go and whatever is interesting to you.
Yeah.
So far, we've done machine learning inside BigQuery. We built our first Data Studio dashboard. Now we showed off maps inside Data Studio. That's pretty cool
Yeah.
and new.
That was a super
Now we have
awesome
2 weeks to find out a new project.
new project.
You can show people that there even we had a vote on what should we cover today. If
Yeah.
you go to our, I paste the link in our share document.
Thank you.
You click on survey.
So we'll post another survey maybe and see what people want more of.
Exactly.
One more.
But when I announce this on Twitter, follow me and follow Yufeng. 224 people voted, and everyone wanted to know about Google Maps and Data Studio and about Instant Pot brownies. I think we delivered on the topic.
That's right. I think we definitely covered it. Next time we should say, if you vote, you have to show up. You gotta show up for what you're asking for, right? I expect to see all 224 of them here on the live stream in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I like Buzz is asking to know more about materialized views. Materialized views in BigQuery are really magic and interesting and not ready to be used. What I mean by that is they are in beta, they're pretty new. They're ready for you to run some cool experiments. I would not use them in production yet, but they're super magic on how they work. So maybe in 2 weeks we should review materialized views.
And here's the posted the recipe that I happened to use. It was just Instant Pot brownies on Google. I looked at a few different options. The brownies were really moist. I will say that. Being sealed in like that, it's very nice. It comes out. It's very delicate. So definitely no burnt brownie there. So I'm pretty happy with it, all things considered. Some of you know me, know that I also really enjoy ice cream, so I am excited to pair that with a scoop of ice cream later. So
yes, Michael wants to learn about BigQuery BI engine practices. I think we're doing that here. Which my best practice for BI engine is create a new table for Data Studio and give that simple table to BigQuery. I should write that down in a blog post. Manuel wants to know when geographies are coming soon to Data Studio. I don't know how to define soon because some things take a lot of time, but then we get them. We're so happy to celebrate them. Saverio wants fresh pasta. Hopefully we will have fresh pasta soon.
Well, we'll need a different show for that. The big cooking show.
Exactly. Do we have a closing down music or a closing down message? Like, please subscribe.
Yeah, I mean,
go to our
this.
Thanks a lot to the GDGs that always come to our show.
Huge thanks to them. And the live stream is posted on the meetup. It's on the link in the description. So, that meetup group, we're posting all of our kind of team and colleagues' live events on there. So you can kind of check that out as well. Many of them are hosted on this channel, Adventures in the Cloud, and Felipe has a hat. And we'll, subscribe. The usual YouTube stuff. Subscribe, like, hit the bell to get alerts for when we post new content. One question generally I'd be interested in is what do folks prefer in terms of live streams versus pre-recorded content, right? We just spent an hour and change kind of walking through this, interacting with you all. Do you like, and it doesn't have to be either or, but where do you see the fit of kind of shorter pre-recorded stuff that we like prepare in advance and we can post as a separate YouTube video? Maybe we just have one that we highlight, how to nest 15 select statements inside of each other to get one latitude out of a data set, or things like that, and it can be kind of more bite-sized? Or do you want more live stream type things? And how long do you want live streams to be? This is a 1 hour thing, but we could potentially do longer live streams where we build things more end to end, and we only have so much time in a 1 hour live stream to work through. So let us know here on Twitter. Felipe is at Felipe Hoffa. I'm at Yufeng G. And aside from that, we'll be back in 2 weeks, and between now and then, lots of content dropping over the coming, in the time in between, generally Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3 p.m. for sure. And my colleague Emilio has been setting up some DevRel kind of live events at 9 a.m. Pacific, noon East EST, and I guess, 5 p.m. London time, that we'll also be trying to live stream as well. And yeah, let's see what some folks have typed some things here. Live streams are more interactive, says Saverio, but if there's something more complex, you can consider making premieres, right? YouTube has this video premieres feature, so that when you stream the video for the first time, you're with the public in the chat. Okay, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I hadn't thought about the being in the chat thing. So then we could premiere a video, and you and I, Felipe, could interact with people in the chat, and be able to kind of not have to flip back and forth between writing code, talking, answering questions, things like that. And oh yes, and the question, the 9 a.m. Pacific one is actually tomorrow, Thursdays. So that'll be on Thursdays. So we have Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 3, and then Thursdays at noon. Or if you're Pacific, it's Monday, Wednesday, Fridays at noon, and Thursdays at 9. Real life examples are much more appreciated, says Meyer Gold. Tackling issues live are very helpful in my daily usage. That's awesome. Yeah. So if you have examples or use cases of kind of what you're facing in your day to day, please let us know. We'd be, more than happy to kind of show that, play around with it, maybe help you, solve some of the questions and problems that you're facing. And Felipe has finished his wine. So I think that's a sign that we should wrap it up. And, with that, thank you all so much for joining us. Be safe, be well wherever you are, and we will catch you on the Data Show in 2 weeks' time.